Whether I think Bray Wyatt should go next. So, we all know Bray Wyatt was released by the WWE over the weekend. No exact knowledge as to why. WWE's line is it was for budget cuts. Personally, I don't believe that. Why would you budget cut someone who is this good, this creative a wrestler, someone who's been with your company for years and years, and yet you're still paying out Goldberg big money? And also, Bray Wyatt was a merch mover, apparently. Apparently he sold a lot of merchandise. So why would you release him? That's not what the topic of this video. I want to talk about where I think Bray Wyatt should go next. It isn't going to be limited to wrestling only. I think we'll get the wrestling argument out of the way. I think if you were to go to a wrestling company, and it looks like on his Instagram, he's talking about something called the Cult of Rotunda, or the Cult of Wyndham Rotunda. Not too sure about that. If it's a wrestling sense, AEW is the best place for him. One, I think they kind of seem to be more willing to do more creative, more not cinematic, but like really chew into these creative ideas, out there ideas for wrestling. Things like they were doing with the Dark Order when Brody Lee, RIP, was running it. It's sort of, they're kind of touching with it with the Malachi Black stuff. And you know, even with Miro, they're doing some cool stuff with him there. I love this whole God's favorite champion. That's such a sick idea in my opinion. But Bray Wyatt, I think, would really accelerate there. I think they'd give him the freedom to experiment and do different things there. Or Wyndham Rotunda, we'll call him Bray Wyatt for now. And also, he was so close to Brody Lee. He even gave a tribute to him, I believe, at this past WrestleMania. And I think they would really treat him well there. And I think it'd give him a chance to kind of show his love for his friend even more. That's what my number one pick for him to go to, if it's in a wrestling sense. I'd also love to see him elsewhere. I mean, Impact does do cool stuff like that, but Impact doesn't get the reach that I think Bray Wyatt should be having. I hope Impact one day gets the reach of at least 1 million viewers a week, but I don't think that's the case at the moment. I don't think it will be for a while. Love to see him in a place like New Japan. Not sure how New Japan would really handle a supernatural type being nowadays. I mean, they kind of touch on it with Evil, but I think they would just treat him like any other wrestler, which also is great because New Japan is all about the wrestling, and Bray Wyatt is also a good wrestler. He's not just a good creative. So yeah, he's also a really great wrestler, and I think he would maybe excel in New Japan. I'm not sure how high he'd get. I think I would like New Japan to stick to their sporting type feel, but I think he would still do good in New Japan. You know what? He'd fucking kill it in places like Noah and also Dragon Gate and what's the one I'm thinking? DDT Pro. He'd absolutely murder it in DDT Pro. And that's my camera style. I'll quickly go over my place I think he should actually go is. I think he should go to Hollywood. I think he's got the creative mind to be involved in making and producing films. He's got the creative mind involved in writing a sick movie, a sick TV show. I think he would absolutely do wonders in Hollywood, and I know he's got a family now, and it's so much easier on his body. He's far less likely to get hurt. And as my camera dies, I'll use my phone. I think he'd do great in Hollywood. I think he could make some big money in Hollywood. And yeah, that's why I think Bray Wyatt should go. He should go to AEW or Hollywood. Let me know in the comments down below where you think Bray Wyatt should be going in the future. I wish Wyndham Rotunda all the best. I hope he's mentally okay as well. You know, WWE are releasing people, and sometimes it will affect you greatly, especially because you've been at a company for so many years. So I wish him and his family the best. Hey, remember to like, subscribe, share the video with a friend or family member. And hey, hope you watched some great wrestling today.